Welcome to the Big Ticket Life. Each week, you'll hear and see stories of leaders overcoming struggle and living as examples of courage in their leadership.
Autonomy, your voice is heard, confidence, you feel good about what you're doing, that you feel like you're successful, fun, relationships, and safety.
That in a world where all of the information is available at your fingertips, the most important thing was going to be the closest relationships around you.
You'll learn about living examples of trauma turned into triumph, stories of healing and impact, and how you as a leader can create impact and legacy for your family, for those you lead, and the communities you serve.
Okay, now I'm obligated to share. They need to know this because I'm certainly not the only person who's going to do cancer.
Working together in harmony with the singular definite focus. And for Gathering the Kings, that singular definite focus is to create and live the exceptional life.
It's our role as leaders to expand on the space around us and bring others into that space.
It all comes down to your why. Your business, why are you doing it? How is it going to change the world and what's it going to do for your family?
Purpose comes from serving. Purpose comes from giving. Purpose doesn't come from getting. It comes from what can I do for you?
Living a bigger life, one focused on the healing and impact you can create for those you lead.
And then he said that, how we make decisions is to do it based on inspiration or desperation. And I thought, wow, I'm pretty desperate.
We're at the same exact spot in their life. The great things that have happened in life and the not so great things, the highs and the lows. Without those things, I wouldn't be right here, right now, being present with you. That's all shaped me.
But being that constant in your community, good or bad, whether things are great in the community, bad in the community, who's steady?
Taking the time and the space to slow down, and this is where inspiration begins to happen.
And they don't talk about the struggle, but I promise you, the story is in your struggle.
There's preparation at operating at a certain level. Any sort of professional, Taylor Swift, U2, there's schedules, there's rituals, there's timings.
There's nothing wrong with being humble, but there's also nothing wrong with stepping into your superpower and letting people know who you are.
Welcome to the Big Ticket Life. All right, welcome to the Big Ticket Life show, where leaders share stories of healing, impact, and courageous leadership in their lives and in their businesses. The Big Ticket Life is all about delivering you this immersive experience. You can pick it up live every Tuesday on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Listen on all the major podcast players, and now proud to say part of the DBTV family of amazing shows, something for everyone, where DBTV has cooking shows, business shows like this one, children's shows, music, sports, jokes. Just recently brought on Jackie, the Joke Man Martling. So many great shows. And of course, now the Big Ticket Life. So thank you to DBTV viewers for tuning in. I am really excited to have this week's guest on, because this week's guest has been somebody by my side for 13 years now. Yes, officially 13 years. It was like, as they say today, Facebook official. It was official May of 2011, when my guest today, Ben McClure, and I opened the new Gardner's Mattress and More, going way back. Ben, welcome to the show.
Jeff, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be on the show. Fantastic intro. That's the first time I've seen that intro all the way through. I'm familiar with the old intro, so that was a great intro there. Honored to be on your show. Looking forward to sharing more of our story and, basically how we kill it in the mattress industry.
That's right. That's right. And, I've referenced our business many times on the show, which I know you're aware of, and you've picked up those moments over the last couple of years of doing this show. And, I thought it's time to get Ben on the show, time to really show what we do and how we do it. And this isn't going to be about mattresses at all. We'll probably not really get into all that. We're going to get into what it's like when you've got a partner in business. And I guess it could even transcend in personal relationships, when you got a partner over here and a partner over here, and they're like total opposites, but then they come together and lock arms, and it's always been kumbaya, hasn't it, Ben?
So I wanted to say it's kind of funny. Like, we've done how many podcasts together, and normally you're right over here, right? Like in our podcast in Lancaster Connects, and it's different being on this side of it. But yeah, partnerships are built on trust, and they're built on hard work, right? And man, I can't imagine a better partner to go through business life with than my partner, Jeff Giannakovo. So proud to have been by your side for 13 plus years. I mean, really, 13 years is like store open, right? It was almost, I mean, it was 6 or 7 months in the making before that. And that was some of the hardest work we had to do, getting this to be able to, be ours. That whole process, move the store, reopen the store without a database to let our customers know what was actually going on. I mean, when you think back, and we can dig into the story when it's time, but like when you think back to what we've been through in this journey to be business owners together, it's a lot.
It is. It really is. And really, it's more than the 13 and a half years. It's, you and I got to know each other when I first started in the industry in 2002.
Yep.
So I was a fresh babe in the woods, and we
both were.
You were somewhat fresh in the woods too, right? Because you started with Gardner's. Share the story.
Yeah.
How you started.
Yes. So I was a student at Millersville University and graduated with a music education degree with, I guess, an intention to be a music teacher. But after graduating, I did my student teaching and all that. But after graduating, I guess you could say I was slightly lazy, or at least didn't have a formalized plan to actually be a teacher. And at the time, my girlfriend, who is now my wife, Lindsay, she still had a year left in college. And I was thinking, well, maybe I don't want to find a job and move away. I'll stay close and local. So I had a friend that was working at Gardner's, then, called Gardner's Bedrooms. And he was doing part-time mattress delivery. And we struck up a conversation at some point, and he was saying, hey, we need some help delivering mattresses. So I'm like, okay, I can do that.
So it just dawns on me. The whole reason you got started at Gardner's was the need for help on the delivery truck.
Total happenstance conversation.
22 years later, problem that still exists for most everybody.
Well, true. So, it was a total happenstance conversation. Had we not had that conversation in that moment, or had I not been in that particular room or house or wherever we were, like, I would not be part of Gardner's as it is today. So, it's just one of those kind of like fate moments that, it's interesting to see how things have worked out in that regard. But, so we had that conversation. I came in, I met with Jim. He's like, yeah, we need some help doing mattress deliveries. And I'm like, all right, cool. So my parents were probably like, wait, you're gonna deliver mattresses? You've got a college degree. What have we been like supporting you through college for? So a bit of faith on their end and support on their end. And thank you, Mom and Dad, if you're listening. But started delivering mattresses for Jim full time in September of 2000. And after about 30 days of doing that, they had a salesperson that left. He moved on, and Jim came to me and said, hey, you seem to have the ability to talk to people, which, is a great skill to have for customer service, for mattress delivery. Obviously, that's helpful when you're delivering a mattress into somebody's bedroom. So he said, hey, would you want to also help out and sell mattresses on the sales floor? And I had some retail experience, not at all with selling one-to-one, a mattress or a big ticket item, but I had customer service experience from working for years in a hardware store. And it was very similar. Somebody would come in with this nut or bolt or thing, and it was my responsibility to help them find that. So, in a sense, it was very much a customer service focused job. And in a lot of ways, it prepared me for mattress sales. So for a period of time, I was, spent half of my time on the delivery truck and half the time on the sales floor. And a lot of times, I would be out, from 8 a.m. to 3 o'clock in the afternoon doing mattress deliveries, getting dirty, because bags are dirty, boxes. We did bedroom furniture and futons and youth furniture and, a little bit more diverse bedroom offering than we have now. We're very much focused now, of course, on health and well-being through a better night's sleep through a new mattress. But
which, by the way, is a little lesson in and of itself of being laser focused on what you do and what you do well.
Yep.
So 8 to 3, you're out there delivering what you sell, and then what'd you do? You get back at 3 and did a hot shower in the sink in the bathroom, and
well, pretty much. I'd maybe have a slight change of clothes, but it was like, the salesperson that was there in the morning, he'd go home maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, and then I would close the store until 8 or 8:30, whenever we were open until. So, it was like get in the morning, run deliveries till whenever they were ending, and then run the sales floor. So, in a lot of ways, that was helpful for my journey because I had experience doing everything within those buildings. I could talk to a customer that I was selling a mattress to, talk to them about the delivery experience and what was, what to think through and, how we might be able to get a mattress in or, their bed frame if they had questions about the bed frame. So I kind of knew a little bit of everything in that regard. And in a lot of ways, coming off the delivery truck, I could say to a customer coming in, because a lot of people, we've talked about this before. It can be in people's minds a high pressure experience, whether you're buying a car or a mattress, any appliance, any bigger ticket item, the perception is that it's high pressure. Well, I could say, hey, I'm the delivery guy and I'm just helping out on the sales floor. Totally, kind of diffused that situation, if you will. It put people at ease. Oh my gosh. Flash a bunch of old pictures here.
Boy, there's an archive photo.
That was probably a 2011, 2012 photo in our current Gardner's Mattress and More location. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
So, to continue the story a little bit, I was Jim's right-hand guy, Jim Gardner, the founder of Gardner's Mattress and More, or again, Gardner's Bedrooms, Mattresses, and Water Beds. He founded the store in 1990. I started with him 10 years after that. And for 11 years, I was his right-hand guy. So I did everything in the operation except for accounting and payroll. But I helped with marketing, all the advertising. I helped with ordering, receiving, communication with vendors, sales, eventually managed a team of salespeople and delivery crew. I was able to get off the truck at some point there. And, we were a smaller organization than we are now. But it helped to develop some management skills, management of people, because I'd never done that before. I always worked for people. And so again, with the old photos.
I'm wondering where he's getting these from.
Yeah, he's probably pulling them from Facebook or, the old Gardner's page, whatever. But, Jim trusted me with the operation. So basically he was able to, for many, many years, Jim was the kind of sole guy. He had to do everything except for delivery. And, when I came in for him, I gave him a guy that he could trust. And he was able to, over time, turn those roles that he was solely responsible for, the ordering, the communication with vendors, the selection of the mattress products that are on the sales floor. He was able to start turning that over to me and trusting me with it. So I basically ran the store for him for a period of time until he decided to retire in the fall of 2010 now.
Yeah. And, there's a few lessons to extract there for, people within our industry and even outside the industry, hiring the right people, finding the right people, removing yourself from those roles is just, it may hurt in the pocketbook. It may hurt in the stress of things and the emotion of things of thinking you might have found the right person and then having it not work out and then going back to the drawing board. But, no great business was really ever built with one person.
Yeah, and to expand on that, and Jeff, this is really something that you've really helped me with and in turn helped Gardner's with. I was always the type of guy that I had a list of things to do, and it was my responsibility to get it done. And delegating some of those tasks, ordering, communication with vendors, scheduling deliveries, those are hard things to think about turning over to somebody, especially when you know it so well, you could do it better than maybe other people. And, the thought process of taking that stuff and turning it over to somebody else it's kind of a nerve-wracking decision for a business owner to make. And I know it wasn't easy for Jim, back in the day, but again, he had somebody in me that he could trust to do that. So, after we got started with Gardner's, I kind of did a lot of that and took it on myself. And it wasn't until we were able to hire people that could actually do the job the way we wanted it to be done, and we could trust them to do it. There's always going to be mistakes and road bumps, and everybody's got to learn their position. But like now, I heard somebody ask a question one time, is like, what are you most proud of, or what are you proud of as a business owner in your business? And I could honestly say, like, one of the things I'm proudest of, and you probably can say the same thing, is our team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it allows us to be able to do things like this, like I was at the store for a total of 2 hours this morning. And you know what I did related to the business of Gardner's in terms of like things or tasks to do? Nothing, nothing, because there's two extremely capable guys there answering the phone, scheduling deliveries, receiving merchandise, talking with vendors, answering the phone, working with customers that come in. We're to the point where we've got a fantastic crew, and I couldn't be more proud of, who we are as a business. And it's all because of the people that are in the business. And the fact that we're able to spend more time doing the more important things in the business, like marketing and forward direction, and some of the charity and nonprofit efforts we do, the Lancaster Connects, the way we give back with that. And of course, helping our industry with other mattress retailers similar to us, helping them be the kind of store that Gardner's Mattress and More has become. So we can't do any of that without our team, and I couldn't be more proud of them. Basically, there's a lot of mini Ben and Jeff's running around in the store, doing things the way we need it to be done.
I would say maybe not so much mini you and I as it is people who have their own unique expertise.
True.
Who can distill and understand what our vision is and make it their own and pick up that ball and run with it. That's how I might describe it.
Yeah, 100%. There's people that, customers of ours that they bought a mattress from me 10 years ago and 20 years ago, and maybe now they're back to Gardner's for the third one, and they're like, I want to talk to Ben. I know the merchandise on the floor, kinda. I mean, we were involved obviously in what we sell on the floor, but like, I don't know the product the way our guys know the product. Like, no, you don't want to talk to me.
Right.
It might be great to catch up with the customer every once in a while, and I never mind doing that, but like, I don't know the merchandise and the product and the process like our sales staff does. And again, it's one of those things. It's like, we completely trust them to do all of that. They come to us when needed, but it's fantastic to have a crew that does it the way that really the Gardner's way, the way that was founded and started by Jim and kind of taken to another level by us starting 13 years ago.
Yeah. And to the point of the team, let's talk about a few of the key hires we've made over the years. Each one of them has scared the living crap out of us as far as the person, the commitment financially to bring them on board.
Oh yeah.
The package. And we've made a handful of these now, most recently with Sean, our lead delivery driver. And we've stretched ourselves, but we've never been punished for it. We've always been rewarded by finding the right person and going out. And so I would say, if you're thinking labor force is hard, no doubt. It is more difficult to hire because I think people are really looking at their life. They're saying, well, I know I have to work, but considering I need to work, I do want to have an enjoyable experience. And so how do you communicate that as a business? What leverage do you give to somebody? Our guy, Sean, is just so happy that we're letting him make the warehouse his domain.
Yeah.
And he can't believe that we say, look, if you find a better place to put this pile of stuff because you see it different, do it. Think about it. Maybe talk to us about it. But, just go do it. Is all we ask is that if there's a conversation and there's a slight bump in the road or a failure, this is what we ask of anybody. Be able to explain your thinking and logic. And that's not meant to be like, tell me why you failed. It's, hey, before we just react, let's have a thought process. And we try to instill that in everybody. It doesn't matter if you're the other guy on the end of the mattress or one of our people on the sales floor. That's the kind of culture we really try to build. And I think that's special.
It is. And, having a great team is important, but then, like we know what their responsibilities are. They know what their responsibilities are. And then obviously they have to execute it. But getting the proof back from the customers is another one of those things where it's like, people don't have to say that they had a good experience. Obviously they will typically if they have a bad experience, right? Mm-hmm. But, reviews are a big thing now. But not everybody is going to be interested in leaving a review. They don't have to do it. People are busy and they don't have to do it. But I know we've shared this and talked about this on Lancaster Connects podcast.
Is that a recent one?
So I've got six or seven of these just in the last week.
You're holding out.
Well, I opened up the mail here at the house, and then there were a few from this weekend.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things, and this is all related to the team. Delivery guys this week were friendly and polite, well informed about the product. Definitely the best mattress store I've been to. High quality, great prices. Experience could not be better, and would refer others. Like, you can't make this stuff up.
Right.
A+ experience, would absolutely refer to others without hesitation. Best mattress buying experience ever. Would you refer in a heartbeat! ! Awesome! ! And you'll be recommended. Your employees, the salesperson, the person they made the final payment to, delivery guys, they were all pleasant to us. So like people wouldn't say that if we didn't provide a good experience and our team didn't execute on our vision. And obviously, if somebody didn't have a good experience, we'd want to know about it as well. But like, these are just the last 6 or 7 that I opened up, and it's like, anytime I open up those, I always go to that last line, because that's like where they're going to share their experience with our team. And overwhelmingly, we get those responses. In fact, we've got 3 huge binders of these testimonials, and it's a testament to our process and our team and their execution of our vision. So really, really gratifying as a business owner.
Yeah. What I find interesting, and again, this is not just a conversation with Ben and Jeff about their store. I always want our viewers and watchers to take things away that are appropriate for their business. And so I think the thing for you to take away is Ben just showed 6 or 7 in the last week. Now, I personally reply to the online reviews that come in, because Google sends you a notification, and that hits both of our inboxes, but I take up the task to reply. And that's more, and it's pretty routine that way. We get more of those paper ones back than we do online. Yep. And so, in this whole age of reviews and social proof, that's all great. And I value immensely the people who've taken the time online to give us reviews, whether that's on Facebook or on Google. And, the Facebook ones are harder to see because you don't get a notification anymore. Mm-hmm. And so unless you're like actively going in there, it's an issue. And it seems Facebook's taken the focus of that away a little bit, just as an aside. So we've leaned in on Google, but we get more of those handwritten ones. And when you're looking at, there's folks that have a promoter and a detractor score. Well, lean into the amplification of your promoters. Are they willing in 2024 and next year in 2025? Are they willing to take the time, pen and paper? We supply the paper, they supply the pen and ink, they supply the stamp, we give them the envelope. Do they take that time to mail it back? And I think that's very special. It says something about the business. And so if you're shopping for any kind of a product, maybe that's a litmus test as a consumer you look for. And as a business, that's a slight edge you can go and take. And it's a very simple form. How'd we do? What was the reason you visited? What'd you like about our process? Would you refer to us? And what were your aches and pains? I think are the main questions there. And you could frame that any which way you want, make it one Word doc and photocopy it and give it on the fulfillment of service or product with everybody and just have them mail it back. It's a very simple little system that can just lead to tremendous results. And the beautiful thing that I like about it is it gives the business the opportunity to say, when asked, well, why you over others? Let's let our customers do the talking.
Yeah. Read this.
We get to drop 3-inch thick 3-ring binders. You know, I'm saying it for a fact, but like hear the thud on the counter. That's special. That's a promoter. That's the essence of having a business that really does serve. And that is always our vision for excellence. So we've talked about the good times. So it's not always been, and I think it's fair to talk about this if you're all right with it. We've butted heads.
Sure.
Because we've been fighting. We fought each for our own, I think in the moment, what we thought was our own vision of excellence. And it was like, well, I want my way and you want your way.
Sure.
But maybe that's not even the way to put it, because I don't know that it was ever conversations like that. I think, and I'll fall on the sword. It was, if there were 10 arguments, I was probably the one starting 8 of them. I will fall on that sword. Because for me as the visionary in the business, and I've often joked, I'm 95 yards downfield, ready to run in, ball in hand, expecting a pass for a touchdown. And it's like, where the heck are you guys? Ben's back there with the team like, hey, Jeff, I know we want to score a touchdown, but what the heck's the play?
Right.
Is
How do you get from the 5-yard line to the other 5 and goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we've had some of those knockdown, drag out moments figuratively.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about, I don't think we need to get into nitty gritty, but let's just like share with people, how do we come through that, I guess?
Well, I think disagreements are healthy. First of all, partnerships, I think, are great for a business to have, because if there's just one person accountable, who are they accountable to? Right.
Right.
So we're accountable to each other. And partnerships where there's 2 Jeffs and there's 2 Bens probably don't work, right? Because the Ben side of things maybe is only looking at day-to-day stuff and not looking far enough ahead. And the Jeff side, the 2 Jeffs are too far ahead, maybe not looking at what needs to happen to get out there.
Just looking at each other on the 5-yard line, like, who's got the ball? I'm ready to score.
Right, the ball's back there. So it's not that, disagreements are a bad thing or even arguments or talking through things. Like, that's healthy. That needs to happen. And I think that's a good lesson for, anybody that has a partnership. You're not always going to see eye to eye, but being able to talk it through, hearing each other, hearing both sides of the coin, and ultimately, what's in the best interest of the business. It's not that it's your idea or my idea, and we have to have it our way or the other way. It's
right.
What is the best experience for our customers? What's the best for the health of the business? What might be best for our employees and our team, because we care about them and we care about their future and their families and their own well-being. So yeah, I mean, as a business owner, you have to have all kinds of conversations. You have conversations about customers, difficult customers, right? You have conversations about difficult employees or difficult situations, or, things happen, mistakes happen, damage to our truck, whatever it is.
Well, we've had it all.
We've had difficult decisions to make in terms of location, second location that we started, advertising. I mean, there's no shortage of places where you could, as business owners or partners, have a disagreement. But, again, I think that's healthy, and talking it through and sometimes meeting in the middle, or, figuring out what is the best path forward. I think that's all healthy. I know I wouldn't be able to do it, and be where we are without you by my side. And you could probably say the same
I say
thing
the same thing
in the
often.
reverse.
Yeah. I say the same thing often. There's no way I could do what I do without you. Because really what we're talking about here is, visionary integrator to speak the EOS, rocket fuel, Gino Wickman talk. If you're a student of that world who might be watching, but my lane is sales, future direction, merchandising, sales team, leading the sales team, leading the delivery team to a degree of, hey, Sean, let's talk about experience. You're the guy. I've long had these thoughts of having these amazing things happening in the home, and we've done them in fits and spurts, but I'd love for it to be cemented.
So if I could pause just a moment,
yeah.
I was on the truck with the guys yesterday afternoon. They were going through loading, and I checked them off because Chad was busy. And I saw the foot cover machine. I guess you can call it a machine.
Is it cool?
It's so cool.
Yep.
And I saw it, and I'm like, hey, have you been using that? And they're like, yeah, in fact, it was great today because we're in Pennsylvania. It rained all day yesterday.
Yep.
So they would take it, put it on the stoop where there's a cover and it's not raining. They could just slip in. I mean, they said it worked fantastic. So
what Ben's talking about, and this is where, what Ben said, if there's two Bens, you might not see this. If there's two Jeffs, you might not be able to buy the right tool. And so the tool is this really cool foot dispenser for foot covering protection. Maybe you've seen your cable guy wear these, or your plumber. Typically they look like something out of a hospital almost, but heavier grade for trades and for work that we do. And so this dispenser sits on the porch. Now, it was always visible for our customers to see the little slip-on things. But listen, with work boots, they can be tough to get on. Your team might forget to take them on and off as they go in and out of the house on a rainy day. Now we're tracking mud in, which defeats the whole purpose of the things in the first place. But here's the reason I pushed as this part of my leadership. I wanted this visible, audible thing that our customers would see.
Mm-hmm.
And when you step in, I think it goes, right? Yeah. And you're seeing it. It's on the porch. People are like, well, what's that? They might be asking what that's about. And it's really easy for our guys because you can just layer over layer over layer. I'd imagine if it's really rainy or muddy, you might have to reset, but you probably can get at least a couple rounds and you're off to the races. And to me, the few $100 investment in that tool is so worth it because it gets used and it's an experience unlike anything else.
Yep. And now when Mrs. Smith, who got her mattress delivered yesterday, is talking with her friend today, maybe they're eating lunch together, and hey, what'd you do yesterday? Topic comes up, and I got a mattress delivered. And you know what? Maybe that person doesn't even talk about the mattress. They talk about, hey, Gardner's, they delivered the mattress, and not only did they not just leave it on the front porch, they took it inside. But before they took it inside, they slipped on these shoe covers. You should have seen this little box they had.
Yeah.
Slipped it on, and they took it up, and it was raining, and my floors are clean.
And that's an ingredient of what I call amplifying a promoter. To me, like I gave a presentation to the industry last week on this, and it's, what are they saying about the experience? Are they talking about the gift, like we give everybody a little gift when they leave? Are they talking about the things that show up in the mailbox, some sweet treats that we send? Are they talking about the foot covers? Are they talking about the care shown for the home, the way we stood up and greeted them and maybe opened the door when it was raining, or noticed on our security camera somebody is a little more elderly, slow moving, so we offer to get up and walk out and help you in? Products are products, and people can understand, okay, this referral that my friend's making is going to have something for me, but it's that experience that people want. And that's my lane of focus. And so to go back to, disagreement and conflict resolution, Ben, I think when we got really serious about our systems and procedures and what thing goes in your lane and what thing goes in my lane, to me, if I don't think I'm creating revisionist history here, the conflict got real smoothed out.
I mean, oh yeah. When the focus is on the business and the customers and the end, what's the best for the customer, what's best for the business, and typically they match up together. Like if we're providing the best possible experience, well, that's the answer. That's what we should do best, right?
Sure.
There should be no like for example, like the shoe cover thing, that's an investment. Obviously you can't invest in everything that comes along, but when you look at what that little thing and that experience can get you, well, yeah, that's a worthwhile investment, right?
Yeah.
So always, when the customer experience is at the forefront, and that's always going to benefit the business. So yeah, any decisions we can talk through like that, that's in the best interest of the customer. It's always going to be in the best interest of the business.
Yeah. And, more granularly, as an example, so I used to get frustrated with comfort exchanges. I haven't had a comfort exchange talk for a while, because that's an operations thing. That's a service thing, a logistics thing, and that's not even on your desk anymore.
No.
And so as leaders, really, I guess on the other side of COVID, we got real focused on our roles and our responsibilities. Our team can go each day into what we call a daily review document, and we're hyperlinked right there, as is other pertinent company information like our manual and anything else we're communicating. So we gave this one area of focus, and then those roles got lined up between our team. And as Ben said earlier, we got a bunch of Bens and a bunch of Jeffs running around, and they're carrying forward our vision and executing it, and they take ownership of it. But it was only until we as leaders really got dialed in on those roles and responsibilities and sat down and said, hey, who can do this? Who can do that? Where do the pieces fit? As opposed to just waking up each morning with fits of leadership, I guess I would call it, where I was like, well, I'm going to decide to lead today, but I'm too tired to do it tomorrow. Right? Today was a busy day.
Yeah. And when a lot of times when you're disappointed, or, we or business owners are disappointed with employees, you look back and you go, well, did I actually give them the right tools to do the job the way that our vision is? Have we explained that vision? Have we written it out? Have we given them the process to do it? And I think that's where a lot of times business owners get hung up. Like they have this expectation that an employee is going to think the way that, the business owner thinks. And that's not ever going to be the case unless there's maybe some equity or financial involvement from an employee. Rare is going to be the employee that sees things like a business owner sees it. So, in the times where, we've been disappointed by employees, it's always great for us to step back and look at the process. Is the process clear? Was it well communicated? Do they reference it often? And do they have the tools? Like, again, this little shoe cover, that's a tool for the delivery team to use. So it's a whole lot easier to use that than it is to stuff shoe covers in your pocket and have them fall out and have bend over every time to put it in. Like, we've given them a great tool to use. So, that's a challenge that business owners have, and to think through the processes and write them out. And that's, again, another thing where you're fantastic about, putting the processes on paper, Google Drive, right? And giving the links to the crew and reminding them to manage, because, just giving them the tool one time, that's great. And we think they remember it and internalize it and utilize and use it, but reminding them that this is a tool that they could use. That's
exactly. And ownership of things too. Like I referenced the comfort exchange thing. What finally, I guess, in my mind cooled me down is I just said, all right, Jeff, there's only this amount of dollar amount sitting around to this stuff, which is a low, like sub 3% of sales number. And, so that's a pretty good number for industry standards.
Yeah.
So the system's working. Now, if that number were to get to 7-10% of annual sales, well, now it's a problem.
Yep.
Okay. But even today, as we're actually running a big clearance event right now, as you know, And even today, that number is still sub 5%, but that's probably a couple, 2-year stack up of things, because we're not a big promotion clearance house. It's just not what we do. And I think it makes the event have more integrity, which actually is one of our values. And that's the other thing we got clear on. We always knew our purpose: help our community wake up more happy, be more productive, so they can face their day and just enjoy it that much more, right? And that sounds kind of like corporate wall art, right? Like, fun things to say in the corporateboardroom.com, right? Like, but here's where the rubber meets the road, and it's on the front door. It's our mission, and that's changed the way you feel about mattress stores, right? And you can't have that purpose without that mission, because it really falls apart quick when it's like, well, Huckster Larry comes out and is like, let me get you into this mattress today, right? And the reason we can't do that is because one of our values is integrity, what you do when no one's looking.
Yep.
And so let me get you into this mattress today means the other 9 people that bought the same unit this week didn't get that deal.
Yeah, 100%. My gosh.
And that's just not how we flow. And so again, I try to really distill things for watchers and listeners. They're not watchingers over here, Ben. That's only on Lancaster Connects.
We don't use that language in
Big Ticket Life. No, watchingers is a funny word that I made up off the tongue by accident on Lancaster Connects. That's our community podcast show that Ben and I run together for the store. Which, by the way, if you own a local brick and mortar business or any business that has a community of people you serve, shining light on those serving the community in a charitable way is a great way to make connection for the business. So you should check out Lancaster Connects. And our wonderful producer, Chris from Cast Ahead, who's the just consummate professional, amazing producer for shows, is showing you that on the screen right now. But where was I going with the community part and the mission and values part?
I mean,
I forget where I was going with that.
While you think of that,
yeah,
I love the fact that that's on our front door.
Oh yes, the mission.
Because like when we got started, again, 13, 14 years ago, our vision was to be kind of like the anti-mattress store.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the big projects we worked on while we were transitioning from Jim to Ben and Jeff and changing locations, obviously a lot of work just to get a store open, but like one of the biggest things we were working on was our book,
yes,
the educational guide, and like what mattress store is doing that,
right?
So we've always had this vision of being something different as a mattress store, because again, mattresses are kind of, to us, they're interesting, but for most people, they're just a boring thing that sits in your bedroom that you go sleep on. It's our job to educate and make them seem less boring and obviously supportive, comfortable. Wake up happy is our tagline. Wake up happy every morning. But we've always strived to be kind of the anti-mattress store, and I love that that's on our front door, because hopefully the impression it leaves with our customer as they're walking through the door, if they've never seen our reviews, if they weren't referred, if they hadn't bought from Gardner's before, hopefully it informs them that, hey, this is going to be a different buying experience for a mattress.
Yeah. I'm not looking for comparisons to the big chains or the department stores. I'm looking for comparisons to the best experience for your home.
Yep.
That's the bar I'm looking for. So we're up against the cool stuff that people show off.
True.
The hardscape, big fence install. My buddy Dave Gatto with Future Solutions, just, I guess, this guy's like incredible with what he does, but he made up this wood-looking vinyl, but with aluminum posts. It's like a dark cedar tone with black aluminum posts. It looks gorgeous. Maintenance-free fence that looks like it's all wood. We're up against that.
Right.
Like,
people
don't show off their bedroom. Yeah. They don't show it off. You don't invite people into your bedroom.
Yeah.
Just normally saying. And and so we're up against the cars, the boats, the side-by-sides. We're up against the sofa and living room, the appliances, the kitchen remodel, the bathroom remodel. I'm not here to sit at the table with my competitors. They can do what they do, and I wish them well. And I know you do too. We want to be the best thing in the home.
Yep.
That's our horizon. That's what I look to do. And that's why I'm so driven on it. And this focus for us on, education and on creating something new and different. Chris has less snore, more cuddle up. We did that. That was a tremendous investment of time and energy to tell a story of true better sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that pays dividends. But it's afforded us other things. The funny thing I think people feel about me when I talk about our business is Ben's chained back to the store. And that's just not really the case at all, is it?
No, I'm
When's the last time you worked on the weekend?
Oh gosh, pre-COVID?
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, unless, we may have filled in for somebody that got sick, last minute. But, that would maybe one time, right? No, pre-COVID. And even that was more a result of us having a second location,
Right.
which we since closed. But no, I mean, I'm there 2.5 days a week, maybe 3 physical days. But I love the fact that I'm not needed there. Obviously it's helpful to be there to oversee, make sure that the processes are being followed, make sure things are under control and handled and all of that. And it's good to observe what's being talked about and how the phone is being answered. And, obviously also communicating with employees. That's, just being present, being around. Hey, how's your day? Catch up a little bit. Like that goes a long, long way with staff, delivery team included. But yeah, I mean, if like this Friday, I wanted to go play golf, I could go do that. And, that doesn't happen every Friday, but that is like the reality of having good people that, execute the mission of the store. We have the opportunity to now step away and do some cool things. And that wasn't always the case. It certainly wasn't the case when I worked for Jim, and it wasn't the case for many years as we, really built Gardner's Mattress and More to be who it is today. But it's a testament to our hard work, the processes we put in place, and the people we've put in place to execute the mission that, we're afforded these opportunities.
And two things of caution that I would give those who run a business or have somebody that has a business: you never give up the checkbook, right? We control that, and you never give up the marketing.
Yeah.
Always, because those are the things. The marketing's what drives the sales. The checkbook's what keeps the money in the bank. You always hear these things of the little secretary that swindled $100,000 or $1 million. The employee that created a fake company and billed them, and it turned out to go into their bank account. That doesn't happen. And when you decide not to abdicate your checkbook or your marketing, your message stays on. But Ben referred these systems. I mean, we have emails daily. As soon as an order is written, comes to our phone. We have a tool like door counts that we can reflect on any time of the week. We get a once a week wrap up on how many door swings we have. We're measuring our close rate and our quote rate. We're measuring what one of the big things we want that I'm looking for in leading the team on this year. I have 4 metrics. That's it. 4 that we're looking to grow our business this year. And one of those is missed opportunities. So that door counts device, we can look in with the sales manager and say, why did we miss 3 opportunities this week? Let's talk about that. And they know, our team knows they're going to be asked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they need to lean into that opportunity with the customer, because the mission, changing the way you feel about mattress stores, is our customer is on a journey. Now, maybe that journey doesn't conclude with us, and we're okay with that. We're not a fit for everybody. No business is a fit for everybody. But if we've helped them along, maybe they just complete the journey tomorrow with us.
Right.
And that's where our quote comes in. But I want as many weeks of 0 missed opportunities as possible, because that's a big number that can move the needle for our business.
Yep.
And there's a few others that don't really matter to get in, because this isn't a show about mattresses per se. It's a show about how 2 unique and different business partners come together to really put an amazing business out there. And I know we've done that. You said it gives us the opportunity to step away. One of the things, my vision, years ago was, Ben, let's build a CRM. Remember this one?
What's a CRM?
Right. And then we got on this Infusionsoft thing, and Jeff kept getting himself logged out. And in some way you found a niche for this, and now you're like a master automation specialist. And I mean that, you truly are. I just get to say to Ben, like, hey, I'd like to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make it do that? And then sometimes you've said, well, yeah, sure. And then other times you're like, explain that again. And then I explain it again. And then I'm like, well, no, it's a run play. And you're like, oh, I thought you were saying a pass play. And then we finally get it out on paper, and then it gets built. And we have very cool things built in our system that build the value of our business up, that manage our database, that communicates unique offers and specialized messages to people. And then we had the crackpot idea to go license that out to the industry. And we did. And we built a whole other business. And we've been doing this now for 10 years. And so
it's 10 years.
It's actually 12 years, because it was
that's right. Yes.
It was January of 2012 when we launched the paid newsletter subscription.
Yes. I came across one of those. And I was digging through some boxes in my storage. And I came across one. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You thought it was a record, but it wasn't. It was a newsletter.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been in this game of helping other retailers now for 12 years. And, a lot of that's around information, because that's, again, if we go back to the mission, changing the way customers feel about stores, how do you arm them on the journey? What information can you give so the customer makes a good decision? Well, it's education. And that's what our guides were about at the beginning. Even our review books are information about how we've helped people, in their words, fix help their back pain, their neck pain, just being happy with buying a new mattress. That's information. But we've now put together for others, and this has been, again, more me, because you're on the automation side helping those clients. So Ben's plate's pretty full, but you still get to do the volleyball tournaments, and you still get to do the baseball, coaching baseball, and being the board member of baseball, which I know you're so happy.
Let's not get into that topic.
You're almost hoping they impeach you, like in Del Boca Vista.
It's not that bad, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
I'm just kidding. Ben loves it. He loves it. He really does. I know he does. So we've been in the game of helping others, and part of coming together to do the show was to give a little insight, because a lot of people don't get to see Ben, and an insight into how we work and how a successful business works. And that's part of what I'm rolling out with Mattress Retailer Toolkit. It's got Ben's adept eyes over it. He's looked at it and has offered feedback and advice. But this is a part of fulfillment within our Infotail company that we co-own together, that I'll be leading. And so we're proud to offer it, because it's a new evolution of information. So Chris, if we can show the website for Mattress Retailer Toolkit, just because we're smart people, we'll pull out this moment, and we'll show people what Mattress Retailer Toolkit looks like. So this is a place where mattress retailers could come to boost their sales tickets, and it's made for retailers by retailers. And you might be thinking, it will just be mattressretailertoolkit.com. I guess that's my fault. I set the test link. But either way, the lesson here, if you're a business owner, is commit to your systems, commit to your process and procedure, commit to your people so they can run your business. And then you've got a decision point, right? You can say, I'm going to just let these people do the work. I'm going to keep my eye on the checkbook. I'm going to keep my eye on the marketing, keep those fingers on the pulse. And I'm going to have a business that produces cash for me and profit, gives me a life I want. If, like Ben said, if you want to go golf every Friday, go golf. If that means you fly to a new place each weekend, go do it. You can do that. You can also rededicate some time into leveraging your knowledge into your industry. And that's what we've done with Mattress Retailer Toolkit, what we've done with our past iterations of other products that we've created and licensed. And it's a wonderful way to help your community, help others succeed, because there are a lot of people that are stuck in that I got to do everything role. And there's no way to reach a point of success, of not owning the job, of having the business own you. You're not going to do it with just yourself. You're not going to do it without some very necessary tools. And one of those tools that's the core foundation of Mattress Retailer Toolkit is our new digital bookshelf of helpful informational pocket guides. And these are very cool. I hesitate to say it, but I'll say it. They're powered by AI. And so we didn't just prompt, hey, write me a book about sheets into ChatGPT. Our partner in Infotail, Mike, and we spent dozens upon dozens of hours figuring out the prompt. And this came to be this pocket guide series of very helpful information that every retailer could use to help market their business. And so that's a little taste of what we've got cooking as an extension of the Gardner's business, helping others. Because look, it goes back to our purpose. We don't want to be selfish and just have Lancaster County waking up happy and pain-free and made better for the day, ready to face their day. They don't leave upset with their kids or their spouse. Well, we want to share that with really everywhere our friends do business, and help them find that purpose, help them change the way their customers feel about mattress stores. And so that's just a little taste of Mattress Retailer Toolkit, and really can't wait to launch that later this month. So we're feverishly putting it all together.
I love it. The result of this bookshelf, really is going to have a lot of positive ramifications. You've got the end user who's actually physically going to read the book and buy the right pillow, buy the right sheets, buy the right adjustable bed base, invest in the right mattress, benefit there, right? And then getting retailers out of that, got to have this brand, got to sell it for this price, got to be discounted this, got to advertise this way in the paper and this and that. And it takes them out of that game, puts information in their hands that they can give away for free to their customers and provide a better experience. So all around, it's a win-win for mattress customers across the country and independent mattress retailers across the country. I love it.
Yep. Ben, thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Yeah,
I did have to ask for permission for this, folks. That's how we roll. We each come together and then we go apart, and we come together and we go apart each week. And but Ben, thank you for coming in, sharing your knowledge with my watchers here on the Big Ticket Life. Appreciate you very much.
Yep. Same. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching this week's episode of the Big Ticket Life, wherever you might have been watching it, whether that's on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, and of course, all the regular podcast players, or maybe even on DBTV. Give us a like or follow or subscribe wherever that is that you're watching. That would greatly help me. This week, I'm going to challenge you to live as an example of courage. Not something we talked about too much, but Ben and I dug into a lot of differentiation, which does take courage. Take that on, face it with the strength I know you got within you. Don't ask why me. Ask what's meant for me. What's meant for me to do this in my industry? What's meant for me to lead this change? And I'd love for you to do that and live as that example of courage in your own industry and your own life for those you lead. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Big Ticket Life. Take care. You just heard another impactful show on the Big Ticket Life, challenging leaders to lead with courage and work to solve the clash that exists between those they lead and the lives they live. Now is the time to focus on leveling up the humans you lead and the impact you can create in their lives. It's time to lead with courage and be a living example of courage. I'd love for you to go to thejeffg.com/mission. That's thejeffg.com/mission right now and book a call with me to discuss how to integrate these examples of courage into your leadership, how to approach your team with vulnerability, and most importantly, so we can plan out how you'll invest and level up the humans you lead for maximum healing and impact so you can be the leader your people need every day. Visit thejeffg.com/mission. That's thejeffg.com/mission
right now or book a call with me today.